What's up everyone? Today we are going to fly an RC passenger drone. This thing looks really cool. Hey everyone, I'm Nate.
And I'm Abby.
Popeye's hanging out in the house just right behind you guys, and Amelia is miles and miles and miles away that way with Grandma and Grandpa, which means I got sleep last night. We're the RC Sailors. Welcome to our RC family. I'm so glad you guys are here because today we're gonna fly a pretty advanced looking little toy grade drone. This is the KF600. It's really neat because it looks like a little passenger drone. You know, the futuristic thing that's probably gonna happen in hopefully the next 5 or 10 years if we're lucky, where all cars are obsolete and we're all flying around in drones. Yeah, that's what this looks like. I can only just dream of the day when we're all gonna be flying in one of these. So let's get a little imagination going and practice flying around in the front yard in this RC passenger drone. We should have an auto takeoff, so there we go. I just pressed one button and it goes right up. Now you're gonna notice that this drone is flying really stable. Let me fly it a little closer so you guys can see a little better. And then I'll take my hands off the controls so you can see how it does. There we go, hands free, 100%. Light breeze, almost no wind in its defense, but there is a small light breeze. This drone has optical flow positioning, okay? And that means it kind of acts like a GPS. That was Abby rotating it, that's why it turned. Kind of acts like a GPS without having a GPS, okay? This is newer technology. I mean, it's still been out for a little while, but in the drone world, GPS stuff came along first, and then they threw in optical flow positioning, and now they're realizing, you know, we can put this optical flow thing on toy grade drones and it acts like a GPS. It holds it in place. I'm still not hitting the controls, and look how rock solid stable that is. That's amazing. We didn't see that when drones started coming out for the first few years, and now we got them on toys. Now listen to this drone. I want to fly it really close so you guys can hear how quiet it is. I'm really surprised at how quiet this drone is.
Point at us.
There's us. I'm also pleasantly surprised at the camera quality, although it's really flushed. Look how bright that is. Like the brightness is just, whoo, it's way up there. And I don't think we can really change that on these toy grade drones, but the drone looks really cool and it's flying really well, and I'm so happy about that. Now look at the side profile of this drone. You know, I think I want to show you guys this close, but I want to fly it up higher so you can see what this looks like, what a drone is supposed to do, fly a little bit higher, right? And I want you to see the view from the vantage point of the drone. Looks like we're getting a little bit of latency up there, so we don't want to fly much higher. Our FPV signal isn't going to go super far on this, and you got to realize that when you're buying a toy grade drone, you really just want to fly it fairly close. I mean, it's really meant to be a front yard, backyard flyer, and you don't want this to fly out of line of sight or anything like that. So let me bring this down. I want to show you guys this drone up close because it looks so cool, and it's doing something that not a lot of drones do. Do a nice little landing on the driveway here. This thing is so easy to fly and it feels very responsive. Awesome. I want you guys to see the side profile of this drone because look at the front two props and motors versus the back two. Can you tell the difference? It should be pretty obvious. These are mounted like regular. They're pointing up like most drones do, but these are pointing down. And sometimes we see drones do one or the other, and 90% of the time it's just like this, standard pointing up. But it's kind of rare that we see two up and the other two down. It's really fun. And then they use this little kickstand here in the back to elevate the rear props off the ground so you have enough clearance for takeoff. But there's very little clearance, so taking off from grass is probably not a great idea with this drone. You need like some concrete or driveway or gravel or something. Our camera is up here on the front on the drone. We have a power button up top with a little green indicator of power is turned on. We also have navigation lights on the bottom. They look good. They're very bright blue on the front and red on the back. People like that, red on the back on a toy grade drone. It's kind of like tail lights or brake lights on a car. We have another camera on the bottom of the drone. That is our visual positioning hold camera. That's the thing I was talking about in the beginning of this video that kind of acts like a GPS. You know, what it's doing is if it detects movement from the wind pushing it one way, it says, okay, I realize I'm moving this way because of that camera pointing down. I need to give just enough input to not move that way, completely on its own, and that is so cool. Our battery goes in the back here, and the biggest downside to it is that it is a proprietary battery on there, but it does come with a USB charger and it is a LiPo. Here's our transmitter, and I really like this, and I think a lot of people like it because we're seeing more and more and more of this style of transmitter. Your phone mounting system is on the bottom of that. It just comes out, and then the phone mounts in there. Very cool. The joysticks or gimbals, they feel really good for a toy grade drone. I gotta be honest, it feels like it's pretty responsive. And then everything else is labeled nicely. We've got a flip button, rates, auto takeoff, auto land, headless mode, return to home, all that stuff is labeled, and I really like that. So keep labeling stuff, that's really awesome. As mentioned, it comes with a USB charge cable. That's to charge the drone battery itself. It does come out. We have 4 spare props, prop guards, and a little screwdriver in there with some screws to mount that stuff up. And then here's the instruction manual. Pretty good book, pretty good little book. The QR code is in here. We can scan to get the app going. There we go. Maybe you guys can pause the video and scan that if you want to get the app. Whoops, sorry. Scan that and see if it'll work on your phone before you buy the drone. That's always a good idea. Well guys, I don't know about you, but I'm excited to fly this more, so let's do another auto takeoff. Just one press of a button, I'm not pushing anything. It's gonna see, okay, I'm moving a little bit, there's some light breeze. I'm gonna lock in rock solid. Now you're gonna notice this part of the video, we don't have video going, and that's because Abby's phone didn't go into this with a full charge. We started at about 45% battery.
It just eats it so fast, screen recording.
The screen recording on her phone, yeah, just kills the battery. It's already down to like 15%, so we didn't want it to die during a screen recording. So you're just gonna have to see video sample of this drone at the beginning of the video, and just imagine with me that you are flying on this little passenger drone, and we're what, 5 years in the future? Guys, leave it I want to know your guess in the comments below. When are we as a society going to be able to buy a passenger drone for like under $100,000 or something, you know, where like someone could at least dream to buying one and fly from our house to Walmart or whatever? When is that going to be reality? When can we do that? I cannot wait. Well, let's fly this a little bit more. I'm going to push this around full speed ahead. Oh, look at the bird up in the tree. Big hawk. Very cool. He's up in the tree. Hard to see now, but that was awesome. I want to fly this around a little bit more. This is full speed ahead in rate 1. Cruising right along. I like the speed of this. It feels really good. Kind of hard to see probably for you guys on the camera just because it is a black drone and there's no color on the trees right now. I don't want to fly this too much higher. So I'm going to increase this rates. 2 beeps. Pretty fast. I can feel a difference, but not so fast that you can't control it. I like that when I'm flying forward to me, the lights kind of like disappear.
Yeah. And
it just looks really like stealthy and sleek. But then if I'm flying away, you can see the lights on the bottom of the drone. It looks really cool. I just really like how this one looks. It doesn't look like your traditional, you know, square or X drone. Let's go one more rate. 3 beeps. So we should have increased yaw rates, and we can do cyclones and really zip this thing around. There's full forward. Whew. Nice and quick. And we don't lose much altitude, although I did right there. But that's not bad. We also have a flip button. I want to test that out, see what it looks like to do a flip in a futuristic passenger drone. So I just pushed the button. It did go up a lot on the flip. Let's see, I'll push the button and let's do a front flip. So you just press the button and then you use the right stick to pick a direction. What I'm going to do for you guys is just push the button and then pick a direction. The drone's movement is going to be entirely on its own. So here we go, I'm going to do a left flip. All that movement is the drone. I didn't give it any input except for the flip command. So Abby, you said you had a challenge for me.
Well, I did, but it involved FPV, but you can still
try it. What were we going to do?
I'll tell you.
What were you going to do?
You got to fly through Tom and Carol's porch over there.
Oh gosh, that's going to be hard line of sight.
I know.
All right, I will try it. Nice and slow.
Kill their paint.
I want to go down to rate 1 so I can do this slowly and see if I can see if I can do this. No, I'm not there yet. I know I'm not there yet. No, come on.
You gotta go behind the pole.
Oh, okay. Let's do this.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, we do have permission to fly there, just so you know. I don't like that. No, because I don't have FPV.
Yeah, I know.
No.
Sorry,
That's
that was my
okay. That's
challenge.
okay.
I
Oh,
said
that's a
that
good
before
challenge.
I knew that my phone was dead.
That's okay. This is just nice. This is nice. I love the kiddo, but we got a nice little break. We're out here flying. We don't have our monitor. The baby monitor's not on us. You know, we don't have to listen for crying baby. It's pretty relaxing. I think I could just fly drone out in the front yard like this all day. Totally hands-free. I really want to point out how awesome this visual positioning is doing. I mean, I think if the drone has a camera on it and use an app, put the visual positioning on there. Do it. I mean, don't hold back. It works so well. Now, if you're flying a race drone or a sporty drone, you don't want that on there. Maybe have it on there, but have an option to turn it on and off. But at the very least, these toy grade drones and stuff, they just does such a good job. Do you want to fly this a bit, Abby?
Sure.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm sorry, I've really been hogging this drone. Flight time is really great too. So Abby's at the controls now.
My allergies are kind of going today. It's cold out.
Now, traditionally, what happens is Abby gets her hands on the controls, and
dies.
30 seconds later, we get the low battery warning. So
I want to try the flip button.
go for it. They're good flips.
Cool. It does look really neat.
It does.
It's got the whole like futuristic look to it.
Oh yeah, very sci-fi. I mean, I could see people flying in something like this.
There's the battery.
I'm a dreamer. You know, I'm a dreamer. I have my hopes set high that that's going to be reality someday. And you're not even going to fly it. You're just going to set the command on the tablet screen in front of you, and it's going to auto take off and take you from your house to the beach.
You want me to land it?
Yeah, go right ahead. Yes, please.
Lights are flashing.
Go for the driveway.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can land on grass, but you'd want to shut the motors off as fast as possible. You're okay. If you panic, you can take your hands off the controls and it will hover really smoothly on its own. You did it. You got it. Well, it's kind of hard to see on the camera, but how do we know the battery is low? A lot of you guys just now watching this video might be new to flying drones, so you see the lights are blinking, right? The lights blink. They do something different. They were solid when we were flying, and the green light on top, that blinks too. So we just press and hold that power button, it turns off. Got a little on-off switch on the transmitter, and you're good to go. Before you charge your battery, let it cool off 5 or 10 minutes before you plug it in, and then same goes after you charge your battery and then you fly it. Just let it cool off. If you have more than one battery, let your motors cool off for about just a minute before you plug in another battery. It's never a bad idea. And also one other thing for beginners, if you do have a drone like this and the props don't have much clearance from the ground, do your best to land on concrete or something, but if you have to land in grass, just shut the motors off as soon as you can. Or if you're flying any drone and you crash or you hit something, you know, be very careful. If it's a tree or whatever, just turn your motors off as soon as possible, because that's probably the most common thing that happens when people destroy a drone or a part of a drone, a motor or an ESC, is when the motor is trying to spin, the prop is trying to spin, but it can't, it's being held back, and so power is going to it, and that usually just, it burns up and you've destroyed your motor. So that's a really common thing that people will do, especially new people in the hobby. Anyway, this drone, I liked it for what it is. It's a cool looking, very different style of drone that had really good controls in the sky. The Wi-Fi FPV did work, although it's not something that you're going to probably upload to Facebook or Instagram and brag about. Which, by the way, if you guys would like to follow us on Facebook or Instagram, we'll have them both linked in the description box below. We'd love to have you stop over there. What we're doing now is posting like a sneak peek on Instagram. So to those of you that, you know, like really want to know what's coming to the channel, you can follow us on Instagram and find out before anyone else, hey, that's what's coming to the channel tonight. Do I want to watch that or not? And then you can make the decision, watch it on YouTube. And we're uploading some of our favorite older videos to Facebook, because as it turns out, YouTube doesn't do a great job at notifying you guys when the videos are uploaded. So we're also putting those on Facebook for you guys too, at least for now. And we cannot thank our patrons enough for supporting us, so you guys can follow us over on Patreon too, get some TheRcSaylors stickers. But this is a solid drone. I like how it flies. The visual positioning hold did really well, and if you wanted to take a step up in the beginner drone world, you could even put the prop guards on this drone, and I think you have yourself an ultimate beginner drone, because it's just so easy to fly. I mean, that's what this is. Very enjoyable and relaxing, stress-free, nice little flyer. I like that a lot. If you're interested in it, we'll have a link in the description box below. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.
Bye!